Hi, my name is Bill Drew. I am the co-owner of Craggie Brewing Company here in Asheville, North Carolina. The day is October 2nd, 2009, and I'm here with Owen Olatree talking about my brewery. This here is our mural. It is our way to get around doing a sign by doing a mural, discovering the things that make the Craggie name. People actually will see it from 3 different directions, and they actually know exactly where we are, but other than having a sign.
Great. It's a work in progress, right?
It is a work in progress. Hopefully they'll be done by our opening, which should be sometime Halloween or mid-November.
And it's going to show all the different aspects of the Craggie name, right, where it came from.
Right. It'll show the Craggie trolley that was downtown from 1888 to 1924. It'll show the old Craggie prison, which actually started in the 1920s, but is now actually used as the new Craggie prison's laundry service. And then further on over to where this lady is going to be sitting is the view upon top of Craggie Mountain at the Craggie Garden Pinnacle.
Very
and the
nice.
word Craggie comes from the Celtic word or the Gaelic word crag, which means a rocky outcrop.
Right, right.
So we took a Craggie around here spelled with a Y, but we did an IE because of our Scottish and Irish heritage.
Okay. And you have worked for Dogwood, you said?
I have worked for Highland Brewing Company and Dogwood, so I've been in the beer business for the past 13 years. So I figured it's time I either put up or shut up, so I decided to put up instead. So
well, you have the experience to back up what you're doing here, so that's great.
I have all this brewing experience, but this is my first venture into the business side, and it has been educational.
That's the easy part.
Right. Well, the brewing part for me is the easy part because I've been doing it for so long. It's just the business part I knew nothing about, but it was a work in progress. You know, definitely a big learning curve, but it wasn't difficult. It wasn't hard. It takes time, and you just have to do it.
Okay. All right, let's go see the brew house.
Okay, let's go see the brew house. Our brew house is actually a mix mash of beer equipment from other breweries from around the area.
Is it all brewery equipment, or do you have any dairy? Or?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I have a bunch of old equipment from where I used to work for Highland Brewing Company. I have some brewing equipment from Old Hickory Brewing Company in Hickory, North Carolina, and I have some brewing equipment from the Ram's Head Brew Pub in Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay.
But unfortunately, most of this stuff, dairy, is actually local, but all the stuff from Ram's Head is actually from Germany. So it makes it very hard to read.
Yeah, right.
Over here, within the mess, we have our mash lauter tun, which actually used to be I believe a dairy pasteurizer. It's now actually converted with custom lauter tun screens, just made with when I was with Highland, and it works very well. Very good extraction.
Very nice.
The kettle is actually custom made too. The kettle actually used to be a pharmaceutical tank, and it was converted into a direct fire kettle. So the actual stainless steel of the kettle itself is probably a ½ inch thick. Normal stainless steel tanks are not that thick.
Sounds nice.
It is.
Probably should work very well.
Yes, it should work well, and it definitely takes heat very well, and it doesn't disperse it. It's very efficient. This hot water tank is actually from Highland. It actually used to be our wort tank. It actually is a dairy cooling tank, but it's now converted to actually keep my hot water hot for when I mash it and sparge. Eventually, because this was a dairy cooling tank, it does have a jacket. It does have it does have a system through here to put either heating or cooling through. So one day when we do solar hot water, it actually can put the solution in through the jacket of this hot water tank, so actually can use the sun to heat our hot water instead of the kettle.
So you have some green goals ahead, right?
Yes, we do have some green goals. And this other tank is another dairy cooling tank, but it's now considered a cold water tank, which actually will use its jacket to cool down our water before it goes through the heat exchanger to cool the beer down. And over here next to our heat exchanger is actually what is called an ice accumulation machine, or an ice bank. It is it's a non-glycol needed chiller. It uses Freon, goes through aluminum plates, which actually freezes the water, creates kind of like an ice block, and then the water circulates around it, cools the water down, and goes through the lines and cools the beer down. So unless you're technically doing lagers, or you want to go below, say 35 degrees, you don't actually have to put glycol in the system.
Wow, so it just uses ice.
Just uses ice. Uses ice to cool the water, it cools down the system.
That's interesting.
And I have it set up so that when it needs cold water to cool down the compressor, it goes through actually another heat exchanger, which actually heats that water up to cool down the compressor, and that actually gets pumped into the hot water tank as a recycled water, because it's actually hooked up to our carbon filter, so therefore the water is potable for brewing, and don't have to worry about chlorine.
Wow, very cool.
See our mess, we have 300 kegs that we have cleaned 4 times and have to clean a 5th time after we take out all the spears and clean the necks of the spears. These kegs are used, they were giving us dirty, so I am taking no chances on any kind of infection in my first batch out to the public, so I am doing the most extreme thing, or actually the most logical thing to do is take everything apart and clean it by hand.
Very wise.
This is a very clean Kolsch, by the way. I'm not a big fan of Kolsch.
I treat my Kolsch like a lager, actually fermented 55 degrees, but who doesn't? So let's go to the tasting room and tell you about the beers, and then we can go from there.
Okay. So you've got some seating in here?
Got some seating in there?
Right.
Oh, you got the whole. Yes, we are a holy brewery here. This is our tasting room. We can fit 49 people in here. We can have music. We have some shuffleboard tables for the future. This keeps people occupied. We don't do food. We will have a snack mix. All of our beers are served in a 21.5 ounce Willy Booker glass. I'm guessing it's actually a German style, but they more use it for English real ales.
Right.
I chose this style because of the beers I plan to do are more towards bringing out the hops and the maltiness in this glass compared to over a typical pint glass or any other type of glass. It is a little big. It is 21.5, but we also have a half pour line in case you don't want a full one. Here we actually believed in helping out the community, so we have a bunch of systems going. Our full glass is actually $3.50. Half pour line is $2. And in the future we actually have bins for 3 different charities. And if you put in a certain many items into that bin, you actually get a full pint for $2.50 during the night.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
Here's your logo. It's a very nice logo.
And then there are wonderful tap handles.
Tap handles,
Tap handles are separate layers of plywood colored and then cut out and molded to match the colors in our logo.
And what 2 beers are you going to start with when you roll out?
We're actually going to start with 3 beers, but I only have 2 on tap right now.
Okay.
The one hopefully is our flagship is our Battery Hill Bitter. It's named after, we're actually on Battery Hill right now. Back in the late teens, early 20s, at the top of Battery Hill was the Highland Hotel. That actually burned down, so E.W. Grove, who built the Grove Arcade that's up there, took out the whole hill, flattened it down, and put his the Battery Park Apartments, which is now the Battery Park.
All right, we've got 1 minute left here.
1 minute left? Okay, so that's the story behind the beer. This one is the Swallow Sunset Cold Style beer, more or less hops like a pale ale. And then our third one is it's called Soul Shine. It's more of a 4.2% Belgian Abbey.
Wow, that's a great variety.
Yeah, using rye malts and oats and 2-row pale ale barley. Actually, it's English pale ale and then Belgian Pilsen and a little Canadian Munich.
Right.
A little mix of everything.
So by November, people should be able to come out here and try your beer and meet you and check out the place, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can check us out on the web at www.craggiebrewingco.com.